Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Dead with My Friends podcast. I am Steve.
I'm Nick.
All right, so this week on Dead with My Friends, we are talking Ninja November. This was something I found out a year ago due to this Instagram user, shout out Grindhouse Seller. He started like hosting this ninja event called Ninja November, where you just watch ninja films or anything ninja related all month long. And you know me, Nick. After Halloween, I get the major post Halloween blues.
Oh,
So
I
this
did.
yeah. So this gives me something to look forward to during November. And I grew up loving ninja flicks.
Oh yeah.
And
I
now I
remember
have a
that little
reason.
guy.
Yeah.
Dude,
And
you
I
had you had like a little toy bin, I remember, with like costumes and shit in it. I think it was like in your living room when we were kids, and there was like a Dracula cape, a Scream costume, and I wouldn't be surprised if there was a ninja costume or two in
Oh,
there. So
100%. Ninja costumes, swords, you name it, man. I was big into the ninja shit because like as a kid, it was the peak of like the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle show.
yeah, we're '90s
And
kids too, man. So
yeah,
that's kind of like my introduction to ninjas. Honestly, was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
yeah. Yeah, especially if you grew up in the 90s and it balled from that and the movie Three Ninjas into like other ninja flicks. But yeah, dude, just what Grindhouse Seller is doing over there, it's really sick. He's always posting a lot of like his watches, and it seems like a lot of movie collectors in the community kind of hop in on it. So it's
hmm
really cool to see a month dedicated to ninja films.
This is my first year participating in Ninja November. How many have you said you've done?
Last year was the first, so this is the second year that I'm participating in it.
Well, I'm glad that you had brought it up. I mean, I only found out about it when we had shot the pilot episode. You had named one of your all-time favorite ninja flicks. I mean, it's November. Yeah, man, full steam ahead, Ninja November.
Ninja November. And circling back to that, one of the films we are going to be talking about was mentioned on the pilot episode. So we are here getting to it. But before we dive into that, Nick, the last time we hung out, you and I and friend of the show, Alec, we met up in Poughkeepsie for the Mind Force New Lords record release show.
That we did.
That was a fucking great time.
Dude,
We met
amazing time.
Sonny from Hate 56. He was really awesome to meet. All the bands on the show brought it and were fucking so good. There was this band from Baltimore called End It, which I ended up getting a fucking retro Blind Skateboards hoodie, which
I wish I got that.
that was Blind was one of my first boards.
Me
And
too.
when I saw that hoodie, I was like, I've never listened to this band, but I'm fucking with it. And they ended up being like really sick, like so
Oh
much good
man,
energy.
they brought it, dude.
They fucking brought it.
I couldn't agree with you more, man. Everybody on that fucking bill just was like, they all killed it, man. They really all brought it. And there was bands that,
Never ending game.
yeah, Never Ending Game. They were from Detroit, weren't they?
Yeah, real
Dude,
fucking hard.
that was my first show in like a really long time. And that was the first time I'd been in Poughkeepsie in a really long time too. And I'm like an old man and I'm like standing in the back like this, and you're like, no false hardcore. Let's go in the front.
Yeah, man. I mean, I listen. It's just I get the crowd killing and the moshing. It's part of the culture. But me being only like 5'4", I have to fight for a good sight. So if
Yeah.
that means I got to put my fucking guard up for crowd killers, so be it.
Oh, there
You
was
know.
tons of them.
Oh, dude. Let me just say, like Poughkeepsie, Hudson Valley just goes fucking hard. There's a great amount of like good moshers out there, and all of them are like in bands and like multiple bands, like so.
That's the
They
hardcore
were
way, though.
that is man. They say at least Colin from Hardlore says like the best moshers make the best bands, and
That's true.
we've got some good moshers that have come through like fucking Poughkeepsie, and especially at the Loft, which it ended up being sold out, and that isn't something that has happened, I feel like, in a long time.
Yeah, I
So
don't think the
just
loft ever really sells out. And if they do, they kept a good cap on it though, because like actually I
yeah, I
take
think
that
it was
back.
like probably a 200 cap.
Yeah, there was a time though I do remember there was like a loft show a long time ago, a good couple of them, and then like they'd sell out and there'd be like some high demand for the bands, man, and then they would move it to the Chance, which is bigger.
Yeah.
It's in the same building for anybody who might not know. You know, the loft is like the loft of the Chance Theater in Poughkeepsie. But
Yeah.
I've seen it happen, you know. Hardcore wants to keep that shit, you know,
More
nice
personal.
and intimate, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
exactly.
I fuck with that.
So yeah, 200 cap show, sold out. All the bands brought it, and like everyone, really just fucking went hard for Mind Force. I mean, when they were playing, I mean, the place just fucking popped off, as it should. I mean, Mind Force is kind of like our hometown heroes. They're a band right from Poughkeepsie. We're just over the bridge, and they've taken it to like new levels around here. And you just go and see when they played Sound and Fury 2022, which is all the way out in Cali, and you got like 5,000 people going fucking hard for this band from Poughkeepsie. It's just so fucking sick to see. So to be able to attend the new Lord's record release show, that was awesome. It was Alex's first hardcore show. He just really got into hardcore music. Like he's just kind of at this point in his life, I feel like, where he's just exploring, like, whether it be films or like music.
Oh man,
He's
he
just
was super fucking
so
into
down
it
for it.
too. Like there was a point like towards like the end of the night where like all three of us kind of like went and did our own thing. Like you went a little bit closer to the stage. I stood a little ways back because I'm an old man and I'm like a bitch now and I don't want to get
Yeah,
hit.
you got dove on, bro.
I got fucking dove on, bro. I'm like zoning out, just like watching. Then all of a sudden, like in the corner of my eye, I just fucking see like this black thing fucking coming towards me, and I'm like, and I have really quick reflexes too, so like I fucking just jumped right out of the way. And like for a split second, I was like, "Oh, this guy's probably hurt and shit." And I'm like, "No, fuck him! Like he did this to himself." I'm like, "Get the fuck
Yeah,
out of
man.
here! Like I'm not even gonna help you. Like get out! Like go play." You know?
Go play.
Yeah, because dude, he could have fucking like headbutted me or something, you know. But like, I got
Yeah,
knocked a
it's
good
just
couple times, and
nature of the beast.
it's the nature of the beast, man. You know, and like you have said before, dude, like Poughkeepsie's just notorious for the mosh and dude, and the mosh culture and shit. Like one of my first big shows that I ever went to was at the Chance over there, and like dude, like it was fucking crazy, bro. And I told you about it. It was As I Lay Dying, August Burns Red, Misery Signals, Evergreen Terrace.
That's so
Holy
sick that you saw
shit.
misery signals in the
Yeah.
fucking chance.
Yeah, it was fucking crazy,
And the
dude.
pit was heavy.
The pit was so heavy, dude. My friend at the time, his girlfriend was a mosher, and she was a pretty good mosher too, man. And as soon as we got in there, she's like, "Hold my bag." So she fucking threw her bag to her boyfriend, went in, maybe not even 2 minutes. She comes and she's fucking lumped up, bro. And I was like, "This is no joke here." I'm like, this is metal. This is hardcore. This is, you know, this is it. And I loved it, and I was hooked. And here I
Poughkeepsie's
am.
a different breed, man. It really is. It's fucking gritty. It's the shadow of the city.
Is that what they call it?
So Mind Force says it in Outcast of the Empire.
Oh no
You know.
shit.
Yeah, it's true, man. I mean, fucking gritty. You got the lore of the Poughkeepsie tapes, even though that wasn't like really accurate.
Dude, you have a really cool fucking story about the Poughkeepsie
I
tapes
do.
that we
I
have to
do,
eventually
but
talk about. I never forgot
exactly.
that, but we'll eventually touch on that, dude. You know, when you ventured into the car salesman world.
That's gonna be a whole story in itself when we decide to talk Poughkeepsie tapes. Hell yeah.
Dude, we might have to do an episode where we just kind of like talk about some of these like interesting stories that we have. One thing that I would really like to touch on right now before we get into it is like while we're on the topic of the Chance and the loft and everything like that, you and I had, you know, kind of like we started talking about like an old memory and experience that we had at Thrash and Burn up there many years ago.
Yep,
Remember?
2010. Yes.
There was a period of time where I myself and my buddy Josh, we were pretty cool with Chris Motionless from Motionless in White. We would go to shows and we would hang out, we exchanged numbers, we would talk, everything like that, and it was a really good friendship, you know. But dude, they blew up, and then holy shit, like that,
Yeah.
we just got so disconnected over time. I hope one day, you know, I could, run into him and kind of like talk about it, because bro, the craziest thing was they had just got done playing Thrash and Burn. Chris comes outside and we're all shooting the shit in the parking lot. And this was before Creatures, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it was the Creatures was set to release in October,
Hmm.
and Thrash and Burn 2010 was in August, and we were outside just shooting the shit with Chris, you, Josh, and I, and he was like, "Yo, you guys, like, let me. You want to go to one of your cars? I got to show you guys something."
Yeah, and he shows us the fucking album before like it came out, and then it had a different name, that they wanted to go with. I think it was called like Circus Apparel or something like that. I can't remember, but yeah, dude, like it's just so cool, man. Just like really good memories up there. So I'm fucking grateful that you had hit me up to go to the show, dude, and I had actually went out because you know me, man. I'm a bit of a hermit.
Yeah, yeah, man. I mean, it's I started going back to shows for this dude. It was a benefit show for his family.
Hmm.
John Martini, shout out John, one of the nicest dudes in the fucking scene around here. And it just showed me like, yo, the scene around here is alive and well and thriving,
Yeah.
and there's just so many good local bands. So I just started going back to shows out in Poughkeepsie and wherever. Like a new venue's opened up in Newburgh.
Oh, really?
Yep. And All Out War is playing in
Ooh.
Middletown. If you're not doing anything Black Friday, I think Joe, John, and I might try to go catch that in Middletown for Rock
I
Fantasies
might, man. I got to see what I'm up
37th.
to.
It's Rock Fantasies 37th year anniversary, and All Out War is headlining, and it's in this bowling alley where they built a stage.
That's
I
cool.
don't think they know what they're in for, because a lot of it is either like it's All Out War, Necroptic Engorgement, which is a death metal band from the Middletown area, and a few other metal bands. And I saw a bit of the layout. They're gonna need to move some of the pool tables and like lounge chairs.
Steven
Open
scoping it
open
already.
that. Hey man, I'm not throwing down, but I'll two step sometimes.
You were two stepping a little bit up at
Dur
Mind
Yeah,
Force.
during Mind Force, yeah, a little bit.
There is a lot of times where I was just like feeling it, and I'm like, as that fucking one dude says, he's like, I'm gonna come out of Mosh retirement, you know?
Yes, dude, that guy is the fucking best, man.
He fucking cracks me up. Did you see the segment where he comes out and he's got shirts and sweatshirts all over, and he's talking about how his credit card was declined
Nah,
because
I
he
did
went
not.
crazy with the merch? I was like, dude, that was me. I was a merch bitch, man. Like I
That
had to
Hey
get
man, I
merch.
mean, I'm fucking rocking the Mind Force shirt that I got
Good
at the show.
shit. I wish I grabbed something, dude. I really
And
do.
I
I
got the End It sweater, if I really like a band, or I'm gonna fucking that's the way they make money.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that, man. That's the best way to support artists at this point in time is buying merch, man. That shit comes out of their pocket. So I
Mhm.
mean, when I can, I definitely will be buying merch, dude, because I became a really big fan of every single band on that bill, man.
Yeah.
Koyo is great.
Koyo, man,
Never
dude.
ending game, bro.
Whew.
Like they're sick, man. I'm really fucking into End It, man. Like they're fucking sick.
And it makes me want to skate too. So it's funny that they had a blind sweater, because which like Joe hit me up. He's like, "Yo, let's have a basement session," and I'm just like, "Yeah, dude, I want to step back on a board."
Yeah. I always say that. And I do
It's
from
good,
time to
dude. It gets
time.
me active. It gets me doing shit.
It's good for the soul, man. It's good for the
Yeah,
mental health to kind of just, to
absolutely,
do that shit, man. I remember when I was skating, like man, those were the best times, dude. Like
dude. You had the most
fucking
fucking insane hard flips. They would like,
thank you, man.
dude. They would like. I don't know how you would do them so high. Sometimes I was like, "Holy fuck!" The
A lot
first
of
time I
practice.
ever saw you hard flip, like, I was like, "How is he catching it that high in between his legs?"
Bro, that was the hardest. I mean, the name says it all. That was like one of the hardest fucking tricks I ever learned how to do. And it was so funny because I accidentally learned them on like it wasn't like a mini deck, but it was like a, like a birdhouse board that was just like ever so small than like the regular length of a deck.
Mhm.
And I don't know, man. Like I just had it and I was just like practicing with that. And then it just became easier to do it on a full size deck. But I would skate almost 365 days a year, man. Like everybody in my town and everybody I fucking skated with, like in the winter, like their time to go and snowboard and stuff. And I was never into snowboarding, so my thought process was, I'm going to skate every single day, and then by the time these guys come out from fucking snowboarding, I'm gonna have the nastiest fucking tricks come spring.
Yep. That's actually what I think the intentions are skating in Joe's basement right now. He's like,
Hmm.
yo, dude, winter's coming. So, like, just sesh out in my basement. And then when spring comes, let's go to Middletown's got a really nice outdoor park.
Oh,
And I
I'll
would love
go.
to just, you want to go?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we'll just fucking cruise, man. And like, just get our board feel back, you know?
Yeah, that's what I try to do now, man. Like whenever I'm with Jace, it's so cool, dude. My neighbor
Which,
moved
by
and
the way, real quick, that video you shot with Jason Halloween of like the light video, that was
yeah.
cool, man.
Oh,
Just like
thanks,
a
man.
really good vibe, a really good feel, you know?
Yeah, we shot that in the summer, bro. He dude,
Oh, it wasn't. I thought it was like around the neighborhood on Halloween.
nah, man, we shot that in the summer,
Okay.
man. We just him and I, bro, like he spent like a month with me. Like all of August, he was at my house, dude. And just like when he comes, man, he's a YouTube kid, so he always wants to film now, you know? He's super
It's fitting
influenced.
because he's, your nephew and fucking
Yeah.
with all your camera equipment and shit.
Yeah, it works out perfectly,
Yeah.
Like it's great, man. So he's always like coming up to me and he's like, "Uncle Nick, let's do this. Let's try this." And I told him, I'm like, "Yo, let's sit down one of these days and let's just go through a little list of all these videos that you want to do. Like we did Coke and Mentos. Like that was awesome, you know? But yeah, he's a YouTube kid, so it's just like he's down to be on camera doing fun stuff. So he was obsessed with this light that I had, and I was like, dude, let's just shoot some shots. And bro, he's a real little creative, man. Like he was throwing in his input,
That's
I
so
think
awesome.
I think that this would be cool. Let's do this. And I'm like, all right, we'll do it my way first, and then we'll do it your way, you know? But
Yeah.
thank you, man. I it was important to me to kind of like just at least release something on Halloween, no matter what it was. Like that's been a goal of mine for a little bit. And it was just a quick clip, but people really liked it, man. The music was great to it. The visuals were really cool.
The
And
visuals were great.
thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. But yeah, dude, I mean, just to kind of like, sum up, the Mind Force show and everything like that, dude, it was a great fucking time. And it got me way more into hardcore than I've been in a really long time. And dude, I
Yeah.
gotta say, man, you know who I've been fucking rocking like crazy? Turnstile.
Dude, Turnstile is on the biggest come up right now. I mean, they're playing like
Holy shit.
10,000 plus fan shows. Now they're on the new Nacho Fries Taco Bell commercial.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the song Holiday is like
That's like my favorite song off of that new album that they have.
they've reached new heights, man. It's fucking cool to see. It's really cool to see.
Rightfully so, man. Their music makes me actually like feel really good. You know?
Dude, same. I love lighting up to fucking Turnstile.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
nothing like a good joint in Turnstile.
Yeah, dude. Just they're good, man. But I've just been jamming them, bro. Jamming them.
Another band that makes me want to skate too.
Yeah, they definitely do. I actually think I might have found them on like a skate compilation.
You know the singer that's the drummer of Trapped Under Ice, right?
Yeah.
It's fucking sick.
Yeah, but he's a great vocalist. He's
Yeah.
a great drummer too.
He
But,
also plays guitar too. He was playing guitar in Angel Dust for a little while,
yeah, I've
which is
seen that all three of
Justice
those
other
bands are
They're all intertwined, man. It's so sick.
but that's the
All
hardcore way.
originally from fucking Maryland.
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah, dude, to sum it up, man, the fucking Mind Force was sick. I'm happy to come out of retirement as far as going to shows. I don't know if I'll ever come out of Mosh retirement, maybe. If I see Turnstile, I'm gonna probably come out of Mosh retirement for sure.
Yeah, like I said, man, it's fun going to shows. Again, there's so many good new local bands out there. Shout out Servant of Sorrow, Means of Survival, Torture Chamber, End of One, Ghost Chant. So many good local bands happening right now in the Hudson Valley
It's
area.
a good resurgence, man. And
Yeah.
I gotta say also, dude, there's a guy that I work with. He's in like, a couple of bands, like 3 bands, but one that he talks about pretty extensively is his horror punk band. So they're recording. Oh man. I'll tell you off air like some of the ideas that he has for a music video, but or for a
Very
song and a
cool.
music video, dude, because I know for a fact you're gonna fucking be all over it. Cause I
Good.
am.
I definitely can't wait to hear it
Yeah.
off air.
Yeah. I don't want to drop any spoilers on his plans and shit. But anyways, man, so I mean, I think that, now's a good time for us to segue into our double feature that we had, which was Revenge of the Ninja and New York Ninja. So if you want to kick it off, dude.
Yeah, man. So Revenge of the Ninja in my top 10 favorite films of all time.
The
Going back
Canon
to
Group.
the Canon Group pictures. It is the second in the Canon Group Ninja trilogy and my personal favorite out of the three. And I had first seen this movie during the Price Chopper video rental era days. And my grandmother, she had rented it for me because, she just saw ninjas on the cover and I was ninja crazed.
Oh, my grandson loves ninjas. He just fucking
Yeah, I
runs all
mean,
around the house in his little ninja shit.
yeah. I had already seen Three Ninjas, and I was heavy into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the FHE Family Home Entertainment video cassettes,
Mm.
which had like awesome Burger King bumpers for like the Burger King Kids Club and shit like that. Just great nostalgia whenever I hear that little FHE fucking intro at the beginning of the fucking VHS tapes.
Can't say I'm too familiar. I'm gonna have to pull it up afterwards because it's definitely
Yeah,
gonna jog like a deep fucking memory in my mind.
always does for me. But there was Revenge of the Ninja and the cover was so sick. It was like show and then in his full ninja getup and then not the one that you've probably seen with him like with the fucking sickle and like the fucking flame thing with the red background, but there was another one where he's like it's just like his upper half and he's doing like the ninja prey thing like and then there's the final fight scene in the background. And I saw that and I was just like, this looks crazy. So my grandmother fucking rented it for me and I watched it when I was like 6 years old. And she didn't know how violent it was gonna be, but the movie opens up with I'm just gonna call him Sho because like in the movie his name is Cho.
Yeah, that was
It's just
confusing
too
me a little
yeah.
bit.
I think it's like Cho Osaki, but like I'm just gonna call him Sho.
All right, before you start, I just want to say something real
Yeah.
quick, if that's all right. I don't own a copy of it, okay? And it's not available to stream, but I ended up finding it. But dude, I was like probably like a good 5 minutes into another movie called Revenge of the Ninja
Mhm.
on Tubi, and I was like, this isn't the right fucking movie. And that's when I took a picture of my TV and sent it to you. Like, is this the right one? And you're like, no.
Tubi's got a lot of ninja movies, a lot of the Godfrey Ho ninja movies, which are like really notorious for being horribly, horribly acted and like overdubbed, but so fucking awesome, dude. They're so fun.
For being a free streaming service, they have really fucking good movies. I'm just gonna say
Yeah.
that. And then
No,
I'm
they've
not,
got a great
yeah.
selection.
Yeah, I'm
A
like
lot of
very
good deep cut
surprised.
horror.
Chainsaw Hookers is on there.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's
One
a
of my
fucking
one of
great
my
one.
boys posted the VHS, and you had seen it at VHS Fest.
Yeah,
What was it, last year?
year's.
So I was just like really like into it. It's got a great cast.
Good shit. Yeah, Tubi's kind of the fucking goat.
Shout out Tubi.
So yeah, the film opens up with our main protagonist family celebrating the birth of his son, and this rival ninja clan just straight up slaughters them. And seeing that as a kid, I was like, whoa, because they're just butchering the whole family. Like the fucking one son gets a ninja star to the head.
I was like, you killed the kid. I was
Yeah,
like, you
killed
killed the
the
fucking
oldest
kid?
son.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that sucked.
fucking insane.
They
Then
don't hold back.
fucking shoot his wife with an arrow,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Well, she was running away with the baby.
yeah, she like hides the baby and she comes back to check on the family and she gets fucking taken out. And then shows up with his best friend Braden and his whole family's fucking slaughtered. And he knows like right away when he finds the ninja star in his fucking son's forehead. And then they just try to ambush him and he's just taking out like all these ninjas. And there's like one scene where they're shooting arrows and he catches them and he catches the third one in his fucking mouth, bro.
Yeah, I
And
was
then
like, this is sick.
dude, and then fucking one ninja tries to jump up out of the water and he just fucking stakes him with the two arrows. So badass.
He didn't
And you
fuck
got-
around, bro.
No, dude. He took out, I mean, he had help from his friend Braden, who was like
Hmm.
shooting some of the rival ninjas with his handgun. But Sho just like literally takes them all out. And then his boy Braden's like, yo, you can't stay here. Like, your whole family's gone. Come to America. We'll start a business. And Sho's mom shows up.
Yeah, and she tries to convince him to not go because there's been family blood spilt on that land now.
Sacred soil. Yeah, man. And she's like, I do not trust this man. And then it like fucking zooms in on Braden's eyes. Because we come to find out, dude, Braden's got ulterior motives.
Mm,
And then there's like a 5 or 6 year like skip. And
6 years.
yeah, so they're supposed to be in like California and they're getting the gallery going. And turns out this doll gallery, Japanese art studio, which, just pretty much displays like all of these like nice Japanese porcelain dolls, is a front for Braden, who's fucking selling heroin and working with the mob, and they're storing the heroin in these dolls.
Ultimately, like, we find out that his friend's a piece of shit and he's like smuggling drugs and using Sho as a front because Sho's son, Kane, I'm gonna say his name's Kane, accidentally knocks one of the dolls over, one of the porcelain dolls, and it cracks, and then heroin falls out of it. And obviously the kid doesn't know, but would you consider her a love interest? The girl in the beginning, is that Sho's love interest, or that's
Oh,
kind of how it seems?
okay, so like it's technically like she's technically with Braden,
Mm-hmm.
but she has her feelings set on Sho,
Mm-hmm.
and knows like what a piece of shit Braden is, but she's helping him because they're a couple, I guess.
Yeah. She also has
But
no choice.
yeah, she doesn't actually. You're right. She doesn't have much of a choice.
He has a bit of a mind control thing that he does.
We'll get to that, but
Yeah.
real quick, while we're on the subject of Kane,
Mm-hmm.
he had been in real life had been studying martial arts with his father. Sho Kasugi is a master in karate and nimpo, so like his whole fucking fight choreography, all that shit was just like super authentic. And with Kane, it's really cool because his introduction, he's walking with his grandmother, and there's these little punk kids, right, who try to like pick a fight with him, and he kicks the shit out of all of them.
Oh, he was not having it.
No, he was like, he
Kane
asked
was
them, he's
not
like,
fucking
"Yo,
having it.
can you move, please?" And they were just fucking with him.
Did
and
you
he just-
see him walk up, bro? Little ass fucking kid, bro. He just like walks up to these kids that are towering over him, and he's got like his chest popped out, and he's just like, dude, he fucks them up.
Hell yeah.
I was like, this kid rules. He might have been one of my favorite parts of the movie, man. He was a little kid, so he had to be at least like 6 years old because
Yeah.
6 or 7 years old. But like he knew what the fuck he was doing. Like it might have been a little sloppy and he didn't have his chops up yet, but it was super fucking impressive just like how well that kid, fought.
Yeah, and like I said, dude, he'd really been studying martial arts with his dad
Yeah.
in real life, like since he was born. So it's really authentic, him playing his
Mhm.
son in the movie and shit. And it's cool because like Kane would go on to do like more ninja films when he was older, and he was also in I don't know if you've ever heard of the game Dead or Alive, but it was like a fighting game. Well, there's a
No.
character, Ryo Hayabusa, who is a ninja, also from the Ninja Gaiden series,
Mhm.
and Kane went on to play that character later on in
Okay.
life. So I
Cool.
thought that was really sick, and I just wanted to highlight that while we were on the subject of Kane. But yeah, man. So Braden's like tied in with the mob, and there's this dude Kaifano, which one of my favorite characters in the movie. Secretly, the line delivery of Kaifano is funny because like he pretty much like doesn't have the money for Braden, who's promised the heroin and wanted the money as soon as he got the heroin, and he's like,
Million
I can't.
bucks. That was
He-
the deal.
Yeah, that was the deal. And Kaifano doesn't have the money, but he's kind of like, we could push this off. And Braden's like, yo, you don't fuck with the Japanese, like especially the Yakuza.
They want their money.
They want their money. And dude, fucking Kaifano, he pretty much tells him in Italian to fuck off. He's like,
Yeah.
fungal or whatever.
Yeah, like tells him to go fuck himself.
So then Braden's just like, yo, you're gonna
fuck me?
Yeah,
You're
fuck
gonna
me.
pay, buddy.
Yeah. And
You're gonna
dude,
fucking pay.
we find out, man, that Brayden's secretly a ninja.
And he wears a sick mask. He studied 20 years in Japan
Yeah, Koga Hiryu
to
style.
become a ninja.
Yeah, man. And dude, I love the Hanya mask that he wears, the silver Hanya mask.
I do too.
It's so sick. So he like starts taking out Kaifano's family, starting with his brother in the bathroom stall, some like public bathroom.
So doesn't he like snap his fucking leg or something? And then
Okay,
like
so like
that's
he like breaks his leg. Then I think he like breaks somewhere in his chest because he like strikes him there, and then he snaps his neck
yeah.
because
The bone breakers.
bone breaker style of ninjutsu and shit.
Can a man do this?
Only a ninja.
Only a ninja.
Yeah. So he takes out Kaifano's brother, and then there's like the street rat who's like feeding Kaifano information.
Gets a ninja star to the eye, bro, like in like this town square. So like they like met him and the mafia boss, they met up and he starts feeding them information. And then they hand him $20 to kind of just pay him off. And then all of a sudden, whap, fucking ninja star right in the eye, falls right in the fucking fountain right in front of all these people. Make a whole spectacle of it.
Yeah, and I love Kaifano's fucking reaction. He's like, "Ah, Jesus Christ."
Yeah.
It's fucking so funny because then
Yeah.
like after that there's the one nephew to Kaifano who's like
The one that's like
he's
fixing
always
his
like
hair.
yeah, why are you always looking at yourself in the mirror? It's not normal,
He's like, that was a good looking kid.
yeah, so he takes out his nephew that's banging his chick in the fucking hot tub with a poison dart.
I love that.
And they're like stuck together because they're like mid fucking. So they're all stuck together, and I love because the lieutenant's like, it's gonna take a jackhammer to pry these two apart.
Yeah,
and then he's like,
the rigor mortis set in.
He's pressing Kaifano. He's like, I want numbers, I want names, and Kaifano's like, you got what I got, shit. For some reason, dude, the way Kaifano fucking delivers that, man, that shit fucking pops me every time.
Good fucking characters, man.
Really good characters.
Yeah. If it wasn't, like the main cast, which would be Sho and his boy, and like they were great characters, but also the mafia boss. I can't remember his name. You keep on saying it, but every time you say it, it fucking goes in my ear and right out the other. Yeah, but no, he was a great character too, man. And then the cops were awesome too.
Because you got his one friend cop who's like a karate expert.
Even
the lieutenant, he was great. So Brayden like pretty much is like, you got my money now? And he's like, Brayden, why are you doing this to me? Tell your Japanese friends to lay off me. Because he thinks it's the Yakuza, Kaifano. Little does he know it's Brayden.
Yeah, he's taking it into his own hands.
They make a deal where he's like, okay, meet me at the gallery. I'll fucking come pick up the heroin. Turns out Kaifano assembles this posse.
Yeah. Commit another act of fuckery.
Yeah, and he's gonna have them sweep the place of the heroin and the dolls, and we get introduced to our boy, man, Don Shanks.
Don fucking Shanks,
aka
man.
Chief.
Hell yeah,
dude. Don Shanks. It turns out he did like a lot of stunt work on this movie as well, and so not only did he do his character as Chief, but at some points he was the masked ninja in some of the scenes. And like him and Sho Kasugi had a great relationship, like on set.
Sho was too. Sho, he was also the masked ninja. He played the masked ninja. I had read too. I believe.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I believe he also.
Yeah, there was one more too. I just can't remember that actor's name who played the masked ninja, because clearly it wasn't like Brayden. The guy that played as Brayden wasn't like a physical actor. So
no, he was just the face.
Yeah, he was just the face, and it was ezy to like interchange because of those.
I loved his laugh. He had a very evil laugh,
dude. The fucking Brayden, dude.
Yeah, it was evil,
dude. Great evil laugh. Great villain. Loved his line deliveries, especially when it's like him behind the mask. He's just like even more evil. But yeah, so these dudes show up and they clear out the shop, but Sho gets there. He's like, what the hell? And he catches Kaifano's boys in the middle of raiding the place. So he starts fighting them. We get that awesome ass fight with Don Shanks. And then there's that epic van chase, which has some of the craziest stunt work. And there was not like
Yeah, it was
many
cool.
wires or anything. Like a lot of it was like authentic. And if you look at like some of those stunts, it just looks dangerous as shit.
I wouldn't expect anything less though from, like somebody like Show. If it's one thing that like ninja movies, real ninja movies are notorious for, it's just like balls to the wall, man. Like they don't fuck around. The stunt work is as close as it could possibly be to being the real deal. And I respect the fuck out of that. That
Hell yeah.
van scene was awesome.
Dude, it's almost like Action USA level of
He goes through the
insanity.
windshield.
Dude, yeah,
Goes through the
legit.
fucking windshield, bro. Like he like feet first, and then he starts, dude. But the one thing that I feel like we kind of like glossed over was that after everything had happened with Show's family and he comes to the United States, he vows to not practice the ninja way anymore, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that
Yeah,
what it was?
his sword is sealed. Yep.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
he kind of like he tells his son, like we're no longer practicing this. We're not ninjas.
We practice the art, but we don't,
Practice the
just
ninja way.
for tradition. Yeah, exactly. I'm happy you circled back to that because that is an important
Yeah, it's a
aspect in the
very
story.
important thing because like Show is in the United States now and like he is just trying to like have a clean slate, with his mother and his son and everything like that. And his friend, like you said, had these ulterior motives that ultimately put Show in a position where he has to break the seal on the sword, man, because for one, he's not aware of the heroin thing that's going on, and two, he doesn't know that his friend is doing what he's doing. Okay, and Braden, he fucking kills Show's mom.
Yeah, Braden comes back to, he's thinking he's meeting Kaifano, but he's dressed as the ninja because I'm sure he suspects something.
Mm-hmm.
And then he sees that like the gallery's been cleared, and while he's trying to make an escape, Show's mom, catches him, and we get to see
Mm-hmm.
some of her ninja skills.
She was badass.
Yeah,
She
she
was a
was.
badass mom and grandma.
She fought until the end, but
Yeah.
Braden got the best of her. I loved how she did the little pepper bomb,
Yeah.
right? And she just disappears, and then he's
Yeah.
walking by the door,
Walking around the dojo, and he's like,
Yeah.
"What?" with the fucking sword.
dude.
And then Kane sees him.
Yeah, but like the way he does the mom in, right, and her body just slowly like slides down.
Mm-hmm. And then you hear like
Just
the ripping of
yeah,
the
the tearing,
canvas.
exactly, man. Yeah, that fucking shit is. And then Kane sees all that, and
And
Braden
that
takes
throws a
his mask
different
off.
element now, man, because this is Show's baby, bro. This is his only son.
And now he
So
saw Braden's face, which
and
Braden's
we
like,
know that's a
"Fuck, dude."
fucking death sentence.
Yep. So he like suits back up, and he's chasing Kane, and they have like a little cool chase. And at one point, like Braden like throws the ninja star, and it goes through like the metal door or whatever, like just misses Kane's face. But due to Kane's size, he's able to like escape under like this little fucking passageway. So Braden realizes that Kane saw his face, and he recruits that girl Kathy.
To find him because Kane is now missing.
So he walks into her almost getting like raped by one of his henchmen. That dude, I can't remember his name, but he used to be a wrestler, a professional wrestler. He's a Japanese actor.
He was in Austin Powers.
He was in
bro.
Austin Powers. He was in Three Ninjas. He was in a lot of fucking 80s action movies, this guy. So fucking Braden kills him because he's like, ain't no one touching my chick but me. And then, dude, it's so sick. He starts to use the ninja magic and he like hypnotizes her.
Yeah, his eyes glow green.
Yeah.
And
He's
the
like,
mask.
Kathy, Kane saw me. And fucking does his whole, I like he does the whole fucking countdown and then like his fucking eyes light up. And just, I don't know, dude, just the way his evil voice is when he's behind like the ninja suit, he's just like, it's just really cool. He's like, now go get him.
And then she does just that. She goes and she tries to find Kane. And it always just kind of seems like Show's late to the game, man.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
he's coming in just at the end of it, bro. And the fucking shit storm's now over. And he's left to pick up the pieces and to figure everything out. His mother's dead now. His whole fucking gallery's just ripped apart. Son's missing. It's crazy.
I know the poor dude can't catch a break because
Can't catch a fucking break.
the shit he went through with the van And he comes back like all fucking scraped up and road rashed and bleeding, only to find his mother with a fucking ninja sword through her and his son missing, like you said. Just like the dude's like completely broken. So yeah, Kathy and Kane, they have their little fight, and Kane technically beats her as he's like walking away because he's like, all right, I'm out. She like sneaks up and uses her size at its advantage.
The one thing he does that he shouldn't
Has
have
turned
did,
his
dude,
back. Yeah.
is he turned his back and he broke the eye contact.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Show when he was training him early on, he's going through everything and he tells him, don't forget the eye
Yep.
contact.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Yeah. No, you're completely
So,
right in the beginning. Yeah.
so that's where he fucked
Mm-hmm.
up. Otherwise,
Good
like
catch,
he
man.
should have
Good catch.
he
Yeah.
should have just backed off. Dude, I fucking really enjoyed the movie, man.
I'm glad you
I
did.
really did. I was like super fucking into it the whole time, man. And yeah, I picked up on a lot of stuff. So I'm glad I did.
Yeah, man.
Because I didn't think that I was gonna be able to really put much input into it. I was just gonna.
That was
But
a
I'm
great
glad.
circle back, dude, to like exactly what you'd mentioned before with the eye contact. So Kane has been kidnapped by Braden and he's got a new henchman. And Sho and his cop friend are trying to find out whatever they can after Sho's mom's funeral. The cop friend comes up to Sho and is like, hey, there's been the street gang that like knows something, I guess, about like the gallery. Maybe they'll know something about your son.
They're all convicts. That was the
They
catch.
approach these ex-convicts, and might I say, what a cast of characters. We got a biker dude, we got a dude on roller skates with a fucking one of those like headphone radio antennas. We've got
Mhm.
a fucking cowboy,
Yep.
and then some dude wearing a Japanese sun fucking tank top with like
The rising
yeah,
sun
the
on
rising sun with like the Road Warriors like Mohawk style.
it. Yeah.
And they're starting to give, Sho asks them like, "Hey, do you know anything about this?" And they're like, "Fuck off." And Sho just kicks he splits the whole table with the kick, and it's
Yeah, he kicks
yeah.
it. It's like, whoa! He had enough at that fucking
exactly,
point, bro.
dude.
I've had enough
He's
of
fucking
this.
over it, dude. So it kicks off, and they're like, "All right, let's go." So you got Sho and his fucking karate cop friend against the street gang.
Hell yeah.
And dude, it's so awesome because what a great setting to have a fight scene. And I feel like that'd become a thing like later on in like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, like fight scenes in a park.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a great setting to have a fight scene.
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
really utilize like the whole park.
Yeah.
And he like whips out these fans that have like hidden blades and shit. And at one point he takes off the fucking one cowboy's like half mustache, and he's just like
Yeah.
like missing half his mustache. Oh, dude, it's so sick. At one point, I think like the dude on the roller skates fucking pulls out a gun. He starts firing, and Sho's got a fucking shuriken in his belt buckle and fucking throws it, and it sticks him right in the hand.
Yeah.
So awesome.
I thought that was a really cool, like a cool little add into it. He's got the belt buckle because it's just like he's like, I always got that thing on me.
Yeah.
I might not be practicing it, but I always got it on me.
And a little fun factoid about that man is like Sho crafted a lot of like the weapons that you see. Like he like worked on them, and some of it was from his personal collection too. Like my man was truly all about the ninja lifestyle in real life. So a lot of those like tools and shit were like from his personal collection or he had crafted
Mhm.
himself. But yeah, so he like throws that ninja star into the dude's hand, and they like, I don't know if they really get any information, but I'm sure it felt good to blow off some steam from kicking their asses.
Yeah, I don't think that. Yeah, no, it was a great scene, but I don't think they gained any information from
Yeah.
it.
So then Kathy, she like breaks the trance and realizes she fucked up big,
Mm-hmm.
and she calls Sho at the gallery and she tells him like, all right, Braden's been lying to you. He's been using you.
He's like, no, he's my friend.
Yeah.
Just naive Show, unfortunately.
Just an overall good guy trying to, do right by him and his son. And then it turns out, yeah, he finds out Braden's a ninja. He's like, that's right. He did study Koga Ryu style for like 20 years, and then that's where we get the scene where he's like, obviously his cop friend's with him. He's like, oh, I want to help. He's like, no, only a ninja could stop a ninja. And then
I was like, let's do this. This is the
Dude,
showdown.
the secret compartment comes out, right? And it's got all his ninja gear. It's like fucking glowing with this like white light.
Mm-hmm. It's all there.
And he's suiting up, dude. And the fucking music, man. Can I just say the score in this movie from start to finish is just so fucking good.
I agree.
He's like suiting up, and he's got the sword, right? And it's still got the seal. And right before he breaks it, it goes to like the flashback of like the death of his family and everything that he's gone through up until this point. And when he breaks the seal and he like puts on the ninja mask and he does like this like war cry or something. He's like powering up and like the wind effects kick in. Man, I just get like goosebumps, dude. I get so fucking hyped when that scene
It's an
happens.
effective scene, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Braden at that point has warned Kaifano. He's like, I know what you did with the gallery. You fucked me over for the last time, and now I'm coming for you. So Kaifano's got his whole building fortress swarmed with his guys, all guns on all different levels. And Braden, he finds a way to like get into the building by shooting this arrow thing from another building,
Mm-hmm.
which turns out the pulley thing that he uses, they were in a rush shooting that day, so they weren't gonna test it. And good thing Don Shanks, our boy, stepped in and said, no, you fucking test that thing. And good thing they did, because when they did with the sandbag, the fucking line broke.
Dude, who would have died?
He would have died, man.
You never cheap out or cut fucking corners on stunts, man.
So good call on our boy Don Shanks for doing that.
That's a pro.
Yeah. Dude, I gotta fucking meet him, man.
Cool guy.
Like, I've mentioned in the past that I'm not the biggest Halloween 5 fan, but I appreciate Don Shanks.
Hell yeah.
And I just gotta meet him.
Oh, we will.
But yeah, great fucking guy, man. But yeah, so Braden, he finds a way to like use this pulley system, which is really crafty because it's like this bow that turns into an arrow and he shoots this line across. And now he's in Kaifano's fortress. And this is where it turns like they turn up. The whole last act of the movie is this final confrontation in Kaifano's building, almost like level to level.
Yeah.
Almost like a video game, dude, where they're just like he's taking out all of Kaifano's henchmen and in the most violent ways. Like at one point, he's trying to unlock the door, right? And this guy like sees Braden and he just throws out these like spikes and then he throws out these metal beads.
Yeah, it was like Jax.
Yeah, almost like Jax,
like
right?
Those Jax
yeah.
toys.
And the dude fucking slips and he goes face first into the fucking spike jacks. Yeah, dude. He comes up and his face
so cool.
are fucking all full of spikes, man. And that's when they know, like, you know what you're in for going forward. And it's like some of the most violent kills. Like Braden is just slaughtering them. And Sho finally shows up and he's like scaling the wall with his fucking little like claw things, which I've seen in a lot. That's like really old school ninja shit that I've seen in a lot of ninja films, like those spikes connected to the hands and feet.
Yeah.
So while Braden is in Kaifano's building, killing all of his henchmen, Sho finds a way into now at this point. And he also has a moment where he uses the spikes. Like at one point he opens this door and this guy's like, what the? And he grabs Sho's mask and pulls it down and Sho's got a mouthful of spikes and just spits it right into his face.
Yeah.
That's fucking great, dude. And then he like takes off this other guy's fucking hand with the ninja sword.
Yes.
So now they're both there and they're just, again, like a video game. They're just like moving up each level like
in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, exactly. Almost like the ladder system. Exactly, dude. And they're slaughtering Kaifano's henchmen. Sho's cop friend shows up and he makes his way on up. There's one point where Braden has now reached Kaifano's like floor level and he comes out from the ceiling, right? And he's got these two henchmen and he's like, no one's gonna come. And Braden drops down and they're like, what the? And he does like this crazy like fucking things with these spikes and stabs them both in the fucking temples.
Vicious.
Kaifano's got the M16. He's like, yo, telling the old lady, he's like, get behind the bar. And he's like trying to blow it. Dude thinks he's like fucking Tony Montana.
Yeah, that's kind of like what it was.
Yeah, Braden throws the fucking spike through Kaifano's hand. And I love like as he's shutting the door, he just does a like evil.
His laugh was fucking great.
Dude, it was so good.
It's so evil.
How is my laugh, man? Is it good?
It's like good. Dude, you're always on point with the fucking voices.
Thanks, brother.
So
I appreciate it.
You're good.
And that's when Sho's cop karate friend has a run-in with Braden who cuts him off. And they fight, and Braden just fucking destroys the shit out of him. Just straight up kills him.
Dude, he is a fucking skilled ninja, man. He really is. Yeah. That 20 years paid off.
Hell yeah, man. He is a fucking killing machine, a cold-blooded killing machine. And like you said, Sho just always gets there a little bit too late, and he sees his friend. He's like, not bad for my first day out, as he's fucking dying. And then Sho just like gives that look towards like Braden because he sees him. I think he sees him like just trailing off, and he's just, dude, that fucking stare, bro. And then we end up on top of the roof. roof. And it's all like serious. And Brayden doesn't even say anything. He points to him and he points to the tennis courts. He's like, me, you, there. So they do the fucking jump.
Nice slow motion jump.
Yeah, like there's just gliding down like fucking squirrels or some shit. And they stick their landings, right? And then they do this like pre-fight ritual with like these fucking hand signals and shit. I know you don't watch anime, but like a lot of like Naruto, like when they're doing special ninjutsu, like they do these like hand signals.
Yeah.
And a lot of them mirror like what Sho and Brayden are doing, which is like some kind of like pre-battle ceremony. And they're like drawing up their ninja powers. And just again, dude, the score, it's just building it up, right? Building it up, building it up. And then they get into their fighting stance and they both just, and dude, the music kicks in.
It's on.
It's on, brother. It's fucking on, man. And they're just battling it out and having the most epic sword fight. At one point, like Brayden's shooting these shurikens and like Sho is deflecting them with the sword. And they would later use that scene for Shinobi, the Revenge of Shinobi for Sega. It's the second Shinobi installment. In the menu screen, that fucking scene of like the ninja in Shinobi is like deflecting the ninja stars. And I know for a fact they 100% drew inspiration from that scene. So yeah, we get this like epic battle, dude, on top of the fucking building. And Brayden is out here pulling all of these like tricks and these like setting up these like decoy ninja traps and shit.
One was a fiberglass like fucking version of himself that like Sho like chopped in half.
Yup.
And then he's like,
yeah. Yeah.
Like every time he gets him.
Yeah, every time he like gets him in a trap, he does the evil fucking laugh. And then at one point they're in like in a hot tub and like this arm reaches up and it turns out to be a robotic arm. But then Brayden really jumps out of the water and slices Sho's knees. And then the music kicks back in, right? And they're just doing this montage of flips. And I've noticed this in most ninja films, dude. Ninjas like travel by just flipping. It's like they want to get to point A to B, and they want to do it faster. They just start flipping.
That's the same thing in Mortal Kombat. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you get like? It's quicker.
Exactly, it's just quicker. Exactly when playing,
cover more ground.
Exactly, and oh man, dude. So they're just flipping all over the place and
doing what ninjas
battling
do.
it out, doing what ninjas do, man. And at this point, just to circle back, Kane is tied up in this sauna by one of the henchmen who's got Kathy tied up in a hot tub, pretty much trying to drown her out.
Mm-hmm.
And Kane finds a way to break free of the ropes by using like the hot rocks of the sauna to like loosen.
Smart kid, man.
Yeah, very smart kid. Finds a way to break free and gets the henchman's nunchucks and beats the shit out of him. And at one point, it's so silly. He goes, "Hey, Superman!" And the fucking henchman,
hey, look, is that Superman? He's like, "What?" And he's like,
"Yeah." Whacks him. You know, they get free and they're on their way to the building and they call the cops, like, you know, that Kathy calls the cops or whatever to explain the situation. But now it's like, okay, Sho and Brayden are on this like cemented ring. No more games. It's just them two.
No more tricks.
No more tricks, right?
One-on-one.
They draw their swords again and they have this true final confrontation. They're going at it, and at one point, Sho catches the sword, and he uses the light of the sword to like blind Brayden, which turns out that was like a true technique in sword combat.
No shit.
And it works, dude. I've literally jokingly did it with like a model sword to someone, just kind of like let the light kind of.
You're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck. Can't fucking see.
Yeah, it works, brother. It works.
Dude, you must take real good fucking care of that sword then to have that gleam on it, huh?
I wish I still had that sword in my possession.
I have 2 katanas. I have 2 Kill Bill katanas, just as a little side note. But they're like, you've seen them.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, you got those fucking flea market katanas. Yeah, they are.
Sho uses that light deflecting move. Their swords clash, and then Sho like grabs this dagger and just rips right into Brayden, and just all this blood just starts squirting out. And you could obviously see the rubber tube, but I don't give a fuck. Just because of all the bloodshed and shit. It's great. Because then after that, he does like a swipe of the sword and splits the mask, revealing Brayden's face.
You finally got him.
Finally got him.
The fucking bullshit's over.
Exactly.
I mean, he was a real ninja, dude, because like he was honoring, the ninja way, man. And then this fucking guy, I mean, but ninjas were assassins though, like, weren't they? That's like what it is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they were assassins.
But there's still an honor to it, you know what I mean? Because these guys probably aren't going out and just like fucking things up for the sake of fucking them up, right?
Yeah.
Right? So that's what Braden was doing.
Yeah, nah, Braden was just he's like, I got this.
Yeah, he's using his power for fucking bad and evil.
Whereas Sho is just trying to honor his tradition because he comes from a family that practiced ninjutsu.
Yeah, so it only makes sense that he would win in the end, man, because he was using his skills and the things that he learned for the greater good, to
Yeah.
to honor himself and to honor his family and everything like that. But his friend, man, was a great fucking villain. Great
Dude,
villain.
absolutely, man. Braden is one of my favorite villains.
It was great. It was honestly really fucking great.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. What did you think of like that final fight?
It was incredible.
Dude, that's one of the fucking best final fights I've seen in a movie.
Yeah, it was fucking incredible. You know what I mean? It's just like the movie was just so entertaining throughout the whole thing. You hate Braden so fucking much and you love shows so fucking much because like he is just a good person.
Yeah.
And then it's just like you're just like so fucking you're just like, man, like this guy can't catch a fucking break. Let me ask you though, the whole beginning when Show's family is killed, do they answer whether or not Braden had any involvement in that in order to get Show to get to the United States so then he could?
They don't, but that would have been I definitely could see that, but no, I don't think it was just a rival ninja clan from like
Yeah,
I'm sure that is dated way back from Sho's family having issues with this clan.
got it. Just like generational.
But Braden's like, opportunity, bro. Your whole family's dead. Let's make some money.
Yeah, true.
You're gonna die like them too, he says, or some shit.
Dude, just the fight scenes were fucking great. The villain was great. Just the characters are fucking great, man. Like I loved it. I really did. I really loved it.
Very glad to hear, man, because
I had a lot of
it's
fun.
nonstop action, and now you can see why, dude. It's in my top 10 favorite films of
Yeah,
all time.
for sure.
What do you say, Nick? You ready to rate this one?
Yeah, I'm ready to rate it.
All right.
Revenge of the Ninja, just to kind of circle back to all of it, dude. Loved the fucking movie. I thought it was incredible. It was great, for me to have this introduction into Ninja November. Shokasugi, dude, he's the man. Kane, he's the fucking man too. Overall, loved it, and I'm going to give it a very generous 7 out of 10, brother.
Okay.
Fucking great movie.
Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed, man. All right, so just to kind of mirror what you were said, Sho Kasugi is one of the best. He's the best to do it when it comes to ninjas because he actually studied like Ninpo and shit like that, and he's like legit Japanese. He's one of my favorite action stars next to Jean-Claude Van Damme, and it's kind of funny because they would go on to do this film called Black Eagle,
Mhm.
which was also for the Canon Pictures Group. But I love the score. The story's good. The action is nonstop. The kills are violent as fuck. Gratuitous. Typical canon shit. And that whole third act, man. Just the perfect final battle. I'd say this one is a 9.5 for me.
I expected that, man. I mean, it's on your top 10, so I figured it had to be fucking really high, if not a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
But 9.5, man, that's fucking great, man. So I'll definitely be watching this again, dude.
Now you got to go see the other ones.
I definitely will.
Like Enter the Ninja and Ninja 3 The Domination, which I realized on our pilot, I accidentally called it Ninja 3 The Possession, like Exorcist 3 The Possession.
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny because in Ninja 3 The Domination, there is a demonic possession.
Okay.
So that's why I like definitely mixed up the two. So with that being said, you ready to move on to our next film?
Yeah, absolutely.
So the next film we're talking about is New York Ninja. Now, Nick, this movie's got a bit of a funny backstory to it.
Big time, man. It's pretty interesting how this movie had come to be. Vinegar Syndrome had put this out. Did you watch the intro to New York Ninja on the Blu-ray?
So the first time I had seen this when it got released last year, I did, but I didn't this time. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot like the whole intro. So if you happen to remember, please.
To my understanding, Vinegar Syndrome has had the prints of New York Ninja for quite some time, and the movie was abandoned. They filmed the movie and it was just abandoned. It was originally directed by Johnny Liu, And Curtis Spieler was the man who had actually went and redirected it. He had went to the owners and he was like, "Hey, do you guys want to throw together a budget to complete this movie?" So they were like, "Yeah, fuck yeah." So they gave him the keys to it, and then he proceeded and went on and finished the movie. They had actually lost all the audio. Like, there's no audio for New York Ninja at all.
That explains all the overdubbing then.
Exactly. They hired voice actors. They hired Linnea Quigley,
Okay.
Don Wilson.
Yep, Don the Dragon Wilson. I know he voiced John Liu.
Yep. Michael fucking Berryman, bro, as the plutonium killer voice.
Dude, that's awesome.
Right? And then Ginger Lynn.
Which we just saw her at the last VHS fest we were at.
Yeah, but isn't that cool?
Yeah, that is really cool.
So he went in, they had no script. The original script's been lost, audio's lost. So he went in and he wrote, all this new dialogue. And he said that he wanted to keep it more or less authentic to, the ninja movies where it's like the dub doesn't really match up so much.
Yeah. I kind of appreciate it.
They re-recorded the dialogue, they rescored it and everything. The fucking score is great. The score in that movie is fucking great. But yeah, that's just, the little history behind this lost gem, dude. It was just sitting in Vinegar Syndrome's archive. The director, Curtis Spieler, was just like, "Hey, let's throw together a budget and make this fucking thing happen." And they did just that. And I gotta say, dude, it is a great fucking release. And I expect nothing less from Vinegar Syndrome ever, dude. They did a really great job with this movie. And I think it's like their baby, man, because they promoted the fuck out of it. And they still like continue to. Because I guess you can consider it like an original movie by like Vinegar Syndrome now. I love that history behind it, honestly. I think that just adds so much more of like a charm to this movie, man. And I'm honestly I'm really grateful that, we have it in the world and it's now completed.
Yeah. Let's kind of get into it, man. So our man John Liu, him and his girl, he proposes to her and she announces she's having a kid.
And he is excited.
He is so excited, man.
I'm gonna be a daddy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a dad.
the fucking overdubbing, awkward delivery. I love it. So he's getting all excited and he works with like this news crew. I think he's like, I don't know, camera tech or something. Like he's not the camera guy, but he's like a production assistant. So they're like getting ready for this like big birthday for him. And before that, his wife is just walking the streets of the city and she witnesses like these women being abducted by these street punks. And she tries to put a stop to it. The one dude like slits her throat, but not to the point where she's like dead, but she's like bleeding out. And then he just takes the knife and just throws it into her stomach.
Just to kind of like throw a little something else into it. This is like New York City 1980s. So it's like super fucking grungy, gritty.
Yeah.
The city's just like riddled with crime, and then these women are being abducted. Like you said, she witnesses it and these guys kill her.
And our poor boy John Liu fucking has to find out about his wife's death on his birthday celebration. And he opens up like her card and gifts and she gets him these 2 ninja swords. And he's like, it's crazy because he like breaks the picture and like the glass are like cutting up his hands and he's like fucking crunching his fist. And I'm like, fuck, dude, that's like heavy, man.
Yeah.
But he like holds on to these 2 swords and he just wants to, he goes to the cops and he's like, what's being done? And they're like, look, it's a busy city. We're working on it. There's a lot of crime. We know about the abductions. And he's just like, this is not good enough.
No, they're not doing shit for him.
Yeah, he takes matters into his own hands. And we find out that this dude that is running the whole kidnapping scene, our main villain, if you will,
the plutonium killer, as they call him.
The plutonium killer.
And he wears these big fucking glasses that are like super reflective, and he wears these black gloves. And he's always in the back seat of a limo.
He has got the silliest mannerisms. And he kind of gives me the vibe of like, I watched this with Joe, right? And he was like, dude, does he not remind you of like Doc Ock?
Yes,
a little bit.
I could see that. Yeah.
That mixed with like Baxter Stockman from the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series. Like he's got like this vibe going on. Evil bastard. And I love his limo driver who's got this sickest rat tail. So they're running like this fucking, almost like this fucking sex trade trafficking
I don't think we ever find out what they're doing with the women though, right?
No, just
It's just
selling
a
them
human
off.
trafficking thing, right?
Yeah,
So that's
yeah,
like the extent of
essentially.
it.
So our man John Liu, the ninja, he's out by the water practicing his martial arts, and he notices like these street punks like giving this woman a hard time, and he steps in and he fucking kicks the shit out of him. What I love about this movie the most, dude, is all of the street punks, street gang members, whatever you want to call them, they all look like characters from a side scroller beat 'em up, kind of like Streets of Rage or Final Fight or Double Dragon. Like there's just all these like assortment of characters and I fucking love it.
There's always those like those tropes of those people, and I mean we even saw like something similar to that in Revenge of the Ninja.
Yeah, dude, I love anytime in an action movie there's like a dope ass like 80s punk street gang. Like for
Yeah,
example,
same.
dude, the Lords of Death in Big Trouble in Little China. Shit like that, dude. I fucking love that kind of shit. And this movie literally has like an abundance of them. There are so many different characters dressed in all these crazy costumes that our protagonist, the New York Ninja, has to fight. And it's so fucking awesome. At one point, dude, like he's on roller skates, the ninja, and he's out here handing out back fists like he's fucking throwing down in a pit.
Dude, he was on roller skates and they kind of made it obvious because they kind of they zoomed in on him, and then all of a sudden he's like flipping around doing some shit and they're nowhere to be seen. He's like in those ninja shoes that look like camel toes.
Yeah. Classic ninja shoes, yeah.
Dude, what I really loved about it was the reverse shots when they reverse them.
Yes. Yeah, there was quite a few of those. That was some funny shit, man. Um, the news crew, his friends, because they're all like trying to get the story out about the whole sex trafficking and how they can help John in his situation. But they don't know that he's like the ninja, so they're getting all this shit on film. Dude, at one point they're filming an abduction happening, but they're not doing shit about it. And they're like, someone needs to do something as they're filming it. Like, yeah, how about you put down your fucking camera and like help this woman out? But then like our boy shows up dressed as the ninja, and yeah, dude, he's just fucking kicking ass, just taking out all these henchmen. And then like, the police are trying to find out who this guy is because they're like, who's this fucking vigilante? And at one point, there's a scene where it's just like street shots, right? And if you look in the background, you can see, I'm assuming on 42nd Street, a poster for now playing in theaters, Ninja 3: The Domination.
I did see that.
I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, I
to
did
spot
notice that.
So that goes to tell me that this was filmed in 1984 because that was the year that it came out.
Got it. Okay.
So I like kind of how that intertwined since we were talking earlier about the Canon Group Ninja trilogy. Oh, dude. Actually, let me circle back. There's this kid who befriends the ninja,
He's
and
a
at
street
one
kid.
point, he's a street kid who gets pressed. And the dude that presses him and holds a gun to him, does he not look like Gene Simmons from the
He
Lick It Up era?
does. He does. 100 fucking
Dude,
percent.
I was like gonna send you something about it, but I totally forgot. But just talking about it,
It was the hair.
yeah, the hair and like the long duster, yeah, and like it didn't help that he had a spike choker too, kind of like Gene. But I was like, dude, that totally looks like fucking Gene during the Lick It Up era vibes. After our New York Ninja befriends the street kid, we get like a 7-week time skip, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's Halloween in the city, and John and the kid, they're out there celebrating. And then we see our main villain, the plutonium killer, and he hypnotizes this woman, and then he's like taking her to the back of the limo and he's fucking her. And he starts having like this fucking plutonium orgasmic meltdown. Yeah, he's like all fucking melting and shit. And it's just like, what the fuck, man? What an interesting villain.
That's kind of like the reveal though, that like that's what he has going on, right? Because like he pulls the gloves
Yeah.
off and then you start to see that his hands are like fucked up, right? And then like he takes the glasses off. But like when he takes the glasses off, dude, he turns into like a different character ish. Because like when he has the glasses on, he kind of like has it together and he seems like this like maniacal like villain though, but like who has it figured out? you know, like a smart villain. And then like he just kind of like loses it once the glasses are off, and then he's having like this reaction or this whatever to this plutonium. And I mean, you also find out like later on in the story that he was like ex CIA who was exposed to like this radiation, which kind of like caused all of this.
Yeah, and you think like he's like sunlight sensitive, hence why he wears the glasses.
His only weakness is light.
Yep. Which we find that out later with his confrontation. And yeah, so he's banging this chick from the back and he's having this meltdown and his like burning hands like choke her out and like burn her neck.
It was like had like this light, this weird light effect too, where it like turned green and like the whole limo like turned green and all this stuff. I thought that like the plutonium killer was like a really cool character in the movie. I mean, I really wasn't expecting that. I just kind of thought that like this fucking guy was going to be like just like some dude who was just like involved in like this trafficking stuff, but to give him that extra layer as like having this radiation, it was like it was cool. I like that.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting take. Not something I was expecting when I first saw it. Because I was like, what's the deal with the glasses? What is this fucking guy's deal? Because he's got that little pen weapon that shoots those like poison darts, right? And he's just taking fuckers out left and right with that. But then you were like, you know, there's got to be more to him. And then we get that reveal. It turns out that the news crew, they have a run in with the street punks because they're still trying to expose who the New York Ninja is.
This is very Spider-Man like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's making the papers. There's kids dressing up like ninjas.
Yeah.
People are celebrating that's, he's this vigilante crime fighter.
Fucking hero, man.
Well, the cops are like trying to arrest him, and then the street gang kind of, they all know about him too now at this point. So everyone's just trying to gang up on him. And the news crew get caught in the crossfire, and they fucking, I think they kidnapped like the news lady
Mm-hmm.
and the fucking camera dude
Yep.
to fucking bait John Lewin. And at one point, the plutonium killer like takes the identity
Mm-hmm.
of the camera guy, which I don't even know how he does that because like
Yeah, I don't remember either. I don't think that they even like showed how that had happened.
they don't even really explain like how he does it, but you're just like, okay, I guess.
Well, because like we see, you know, the cameraman guy and like him and the woman have like a really good relationship. You know, they kind of like flirt, whatnot. You know, like it is what it is, man. You know, a little bit of tension there, but he starts like acting real out of character and like forceful, and it's just like, but he's also wearing glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's also wearing the glasses, and then it's like, what the fuck is going on? And then you know, there's that reveal that he is the killer, and he like melts. Actually, it's with the light.
Yeah, that's what he does, the mirror trick. John Liu, New York Ninja, fucking ends up fighting the limo driver,
Mm-hmm.
which I love this fight, dude, because the limo driver pulls out this fucking almost like a fencing sword that separates into two swords.
Mm-hmm.
And they have such a cool fucking duel with the dual blades because the New York Ninja, he's also got two swords. He's got like a miniature sword and then his main katana. So they have like this dueling blade battle that's really fucking sick. And then the New York Ninja takes him out. And the plutonium killer, like when they have their confrontation, he's got this like special fold out sword.
Right.
And I thought that was pretty cool.
What'd you think of the fighting and the scenes and everything like that for this
Oh,
one?
dude, I thought they were great. They're not as good as like in Revenge of the Ninja, but
That's
they're
the one
still-
thing that I noticed, and I kind of compared that a little bit, was just kind of like how in Revenge of the Ninja, like dude, like that was
They had that shit down real tight. They had some good professionals on there for that.
yeah.
You know.
And this one, it just kind of seemed like yeah, no, they were good. They were fucking entertaining.
Again, it played off like a side scroller beat 'em up to me, and that's what I loved about it.
I found it to be a really fun flick, dude. I love what they did with the reverse shots in the movie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was like the one scene where he's being dragged with along the car, right? And he starts like pulling himself up, and then like somehow he like kicks the trunk open and then he flips into it, and like you can totally tell that they just like had him jump out of the car and then like flip out of the car, and then he like tucks himself in. But I love that shit, dude. Like that's creative, man. Like you did the thing, man. Like it's obvious, but the ambition's cool. Like I really dug that, man.
Yeah, so fucking we have our final confrontation between John Liu and the fucking plutonium killer, and then he goes to escape in the copter, and John like attaches himself to the rope or whatever, and he like plants a bomb, and there's that little shitty explosion at the end.
Yeah.
I dig it though.
Yeah, it's great. But you know what, man? It's like there, like I said, dude, like there's those holes. Like in the beginning of the movie, like he becomes the New York Ninja, but there wasn't any point where we kind of found out that he had those powers other like or those skills other than the fact of like him just deciding like I need to take this into my own hands. And then we just find out that he's a ninja and he has ninja capabilities, you know? And it has its own charm to it.
No, this movie definitely has a charm to it, and it's that real low budget charm. One thing that we glossed over that I thought was funny was the New York Ninja has his shuriken branded.
Does he?
Yeah, at one point, like the news lady, she finds like a shuriken and it says New York Ninja on it.
Oh no shit. He's got
It's
it
like his little fucking calling card.
I love how like throughout the movie they kind of like they try to subtly put in the I Heart New York signs, and
Yeah,
then like at the end they switch it and everybody's wearing like the I Heart New York Ninja. You know, I like that.
yeah.
But nah, man, great setting for a ninja movie, man. I enjoyed it, man. I thought that it was really fun.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun one, and it's kind of funny because at the end it's like that feel good fucking thing where they all reunite but they still don't know that he's like the ninja, and he like winks at the camera, John Liu does, and then we get the coming soon LA Ninja. What could have been, man.
What could have been, dude? And then as soon as I had wrapped up the movie, I texted you and I was like, I wish we had an LA Ninja. And you're like, I put that in my notes.
Yeah, because that's how I felt at the end. I was like, man, I would have went for an LA Ninja.
I
That
would
would
have
have been
went for it
cool.
too, dude. You know, that's like that would have been great, man. But I'd be curious to know like why this movie was abandoned. Like maybe it was just like a production hell or something, because that tends to happen.
Yeah, that's what happened with Neon Maniacs, bro. That shit went through fucking. That's an unfinished movie in technicality too that got put out, and that could have spawned a lot of sequels. Man, they had a lot of potential with all
Yeah.
the Maniac characters. Yeah,
Yeah, you get too many fucking cooks in the kitchen, dude, you know, and people just meddle into it and then it just kind of like becomes something totally different, you know, than the director's vision. It just sucks, man, but it's good though that, you know, that the prints were preserved, and you know, despite the fact that the audio was lost, it could still be salvaged, and it was made and it's finished and it's out in the world, and I'm grateful for that.
yeah, me too. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the release that you and I both have. It
Yeah.
is a great release. I highly recommend picking it up because it's a fun movie. It really is watching a Streets of Rage, Final Fight, Double Dragon movie come to life. So, Nick, you ready to rate this?
I'm definitely ready to rate this. I want you to go first.
All right. I'm coming in with a 6.9.
Okay.
Nah, fuck that. That's a 7 out of 10. It's a
Yeah,
fun one. Yeah, I love, again, anytime movies based in the city during this era, always a good time.
that'll
I
check a
love,
box for me.
yeah, I love the 80s street punk slash gangs. Just straight up out of side scroller beat 'em ups. The plutonium killer was interesting, but I think I liked his henchman more, especially the limo driver with the gnarly rat tail. He was my favorite. But yeah, man, it was a fun one. The fight scenes were fun. They were a little quirky and silly, but it's a good time. And this release is a fucking great release.
Yeah, I'm with you on it, man. I mean, everything that you said, you know, I couldn't agree more with. Dude, I'm gonna give this one a 6 out of 10 for sure.
Okay.
I thoroughly enjoyed it, man. I've said it a million times, dude. It just has a certain charm to it. I love the history behind it. I love that, it was salvaged. Who knows? Was there ever like an LA Ninja filmed?
We'd have to really look into that, man.
Maybe we would have heard about that, but I'm disappointed that we didn't get our LA Ninja, man. But, we have our New York Ninja. So let's just be happy for that.
Exactly, brother. You couldn't have said it any better.
So last episode we wanted to try something, and we wanted to talk hot takes with people. I came up with a hot take. I thought it was a really good hot take. You redacted your fucking hot take. Um, I'll be honest, I don't have a hot take. I didn't think about it, and I can't think of one off the top of my head. But I did say we'll circle back, and you'll have a better hot take this time. So, what is your hot take? Do you have one?
I've got actually two hot takes this week.
Did we get anybody who wanted to participate?
We did. So
Cool.
I'm going to say my hot takes.
Okay.
And then I'll get into the hot take that we have sent in.
All right, cool.
All
I'm
right,
excited.
So for my hot take this week, I'm probably going to get a lot of heat in the hardcore scene for this one.
So this is a music hot take?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think Brian Garris's vocals from Knocked Loose are not good. I've seen them 4 times now, and every time it just gets worse and worse and worse. He sounds like a hardcore Mickey Mouse.
Ooh.
That's the best way I could describe it. Instrumentally, that band
They're
is great.
good.
And listen, I know they work hard to get the success that they've reached, and I'm happy for them, but I just don't think Brian Garris is a good live vocalist. Gonna get me some heat because I know they're a very loved band, and I get why they are loved.
They blew the fuck up. That's for damn sure. I've seen them probably as many times as you did. I can't say that I agree with your hot take. It's fitting for their style. There's actually a vocalist on Instagram who does covers. His name escapes me right now, but he fucking did a cover to some Knocked Loose stuff. But it was like a totally like how I think that you would want to hear Knocked Loose vocals along with that music. And
I think you remember sending me it, and I was like, yeah, if that was the way the vocals sound, I would have been more into Knocked Loose.
Yeah. But that is certainly a hot take, dude, because a lot of fucking people would disagree with you.
They are a very beloved band. Like, when you talk about, like, heavy bands in the hardcore scene or, like, metalcore, they're hardcore, man. But, Knocked Loose always comes to mind to many. And, again, I'm not knocking or discrediting
You're not
their
knocking Knocked Loose?
As a whole, like, they're a hardworking band. They do deserve the success that they've gotten. I just don't think Brian Garris's live vocals are good. And I'll be honest, anytime they're on the bill, I'm like, I'm good with leaving when they go on.
I'll catch some songs.
If they're like the headliner, I'm out before they're on.
Yeah, bro.
My other hot take, real quick,
okay,
before I get into the hot take that was sent to us.
Oh, you have another hot take?
I have another hot take.
Oh, all right. What's that?
I think Ghost is the most fucking boring band in the world.
All right, I agree with this.
I think like their look and aesthetic seems interesting, being Misfits fans. But then I listen to their music and I just want to turn it off instantly.
Yeah, I can't listen to them anymore, man. When they had first come about, I was all for them, dude. I thought Papa looked fucking incredible. And like despite the way that they looked, I mean, dude, like we love the theatrics. That's fucking like every band that we like, Kiss, Slipknot, Mudvayne, shit like that. So we love the theatrics. So that's initially what turned me on to Ghost. I saw them before they really blew up. I actually saw them up at the Chance, and like that was it for me. Like once I think it was like Papa 2 or Papa 3, Papa 2. Anyways, it was the best looking Papa. But then after that, dude, they just kind of like declined for me, man. They just became like this stadium rock shit. And but I agree with you, man. I think they're really fucking boring now. So we have a submission that excites me.
We do have a submission.
Cool.
Friend or maybe foe of the show.
I don't want foes.
Jamie Jam Ripper, Jamal Harris. Good friends with Dan too. They game a lot together. Someone that I just knew going to shows. That's how we became friends. Is constantly seeing each other at shows at the Loft and Chance.
Mm-hmm.
His hot take is he thinks every time I die sucks.
Oh my fucking God. What a foe.
Yeah, I told you, friend or possible foe of the show. Jam Ripper Harris, you've got a target on your head, brother.
How can he be a friend of the show? Our fucking name
I
comes
know.
from Every Time I Die.
Hey, man, I mean, I say friend because he
Oh my
listens all the
God,
time, and
dude.
he does love the shit we put out. But yeah, he thinks Every Time I Die sucks, and I'm just like, brother, we got fucking heat.
Dude, that
Yeah.
fucking
You want to talk about a hot take?
That is a hot.
He's the king of them.
Take.
He is the king of them.
I look forward to more of them, but I can say I do not fucking agree with that whatsoever.
Oh,
Every Time I Die is one of the best fucking bands ever. They are like the hardest working fucking dudes in the industry. They're, dude.
R.I.P.
I hope they come back eventually, man. But I can honestly say that.
One can only hope, man.
I've seen them quite a bit of times, dude, and I'm gonna forever be grateful for that. But what'd you say your friend's name was?
Jamie Harris, Jam Ripper.
Jamie Harris?
We jokingly call him, Dan and I jokingly call him Jam Ripper or Jamal.
Jam Ripper. All right, I'm gonna call him Jam Ripper. Jam Ripper, you are fucking wrong, buddy. Every Time I Die rules. They do not suck. You are so fucking wrong, dude. But great hot take. I'll give you that. Great fucking hot take. Because you got me. You got me fired up.
With that being said, before we officially wrap this up, just want to give like a couple of shout outs to shows that show us love and we just want to show them back. Our Brothers in Bad Taste video. Also, Laser Graves, EK just put out a Darkwave album under his solo project called Blood Relations. So that album just dropped. You can check it out on his Instagram at _Blood Relations, I believe. And also shout outs to our dudes in Tapehead Massacre podcast and Video Store Massacre podcast. We appreciate them showing us love, so check out those shows as well. All right, with that being said, if you like what you've been hearing and or watching, be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. You can find us on Instagram at Dead With My Friends Podcast. Until next time.
Peace.